own 43-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, take a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Gone! 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 Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Mariota again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, Mariota. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. A 1st down throw for Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaunton hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 in excellent field position here. Petty, the first down carry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Dumps that off to Petty as running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Petty will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays had gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Buying time to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Gould is able to put it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Leaves it for Penny. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Mariota now after the fumble recovery. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2nd down, Mariota. He stays up. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Mariota now from the 50. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mariota on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Mariota on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Check. 53 spike. Check. 53 spike.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota being chased out left. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. That's Njoku over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. Oh, now he bowls him over. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Following the interception here, Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Here's Mariota. And he's going to go down again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Mariota now. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
And I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He dumps it off for Henry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them down?
And coughed it up, and the Seahawks have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now he's forced out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
The fire.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he's going to be met at about the 43. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He was waving as hard as one to football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew covers, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game, and tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On second down, Mariota again. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Mariota again. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3rd and long here for Mariota. Throw
taken in by Taylor left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. Welcome back now here in London as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll set them back 5. They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
This is taken around the 12. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now back out comes the offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because
and the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Timmy Jernigan able to slump him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the gun, Mariota. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
To throw is Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that?
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Out of the gun now on third down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's fourth.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that will make our score 9-0. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero.
Let's go. Ready? Mike, three, Mike. One. You.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Mariota to the right side, complete to Taylor. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
An excellent pickup at 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20, 10, 5... And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. First down, Mariota. And now here's another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Kickshank, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Dancing to his left. Taking a shot for 6. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with it 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. One last shot now for Mariota. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on.